told you. What did I tell you? Didn't I tell you? Cause I told you. And when did I tell you? A long time ago. And what did I say will happen when I told you? Exactly what just happened. I told you. What did I tell you? Didn't I tell you? Cause I told you. And when did I tell you? A long time ago. And what did I say will happen when I told you? Exactly what just happened. Nah, I think it's fucked
like with
up.
you guys, you're like, oh, like
I think it's fucked up because it's like this shit ain't new. And this shit's been known. So here's the thing. Because I always go deeper, not than what I'm supposed to, but I always like it's bigger than this shit is bigger than Nino Brown. This shit is bigger than Sinetta. It has nothing to do. He's just a fucking what's the word I want to use? He's just like a puppet. You know what I'm saying? For a bigger situation. You know what I mean? It's not it's not him. Like I don't want people to think that Sinetta is the ringleader. No. Hell no. Hell no. Sinetta used to run with Khalid Muhammad. All right. And everybody's like, Black Power, and a lot of people liked Khalid Muhammad. There's some things that I've heard Khalid Muhammad say that was cool. But there's also some shit that I've heard Martin Luther King say that was cool. And Malcolm X. And I put them in the Boule CIA train as well. So I'm saying that to say this. Who introduced this nigga to us? You know what I mean? Because y'all blaming Polite. But it's like, who introduced Sinetta to us? I remember like it was yesterday. I remember, it's like 2011, 2010, some shit like this. Was way back in the day. I think it's like 2011. So I'm just, I'm coming into knowledge itself. I'm learning different things. You know what I'm saying? And it went the standard way. Malcolm X, NOI, stuff like that. Then it's, of course, some esoteric talk. But one person just popped up. And he's just talking all this revolutionary stuff. And it all started in his house. You know what I'm saying? Like, one of the first tapes I seen Sinetta just talking, representing himself, that nigga was in his bedroom. He was in his bedroom, fully geared up. Had the whole, red, black, and green on and everything. And it's not like he did it in the house. He was, he had his old tapes of him at the park and him on 125th. And, people drawn into it. You know what I'm saying? He's showing these slave pictures and stuff. People are like, yo, this dude is is real deal. Then everything started to cipher in. And I think the reason that people didn't see it is because nobody knew. You know what I'm saying? None of this, all this stuff is kind of new, even though it has been told. I put up a post about Pan-Africans and pro-blacks really don't like this dude. And it was a picture of Steve Coakley. For a while, I was mad at Dan Calloway, and I apologize for all the wrong reasons. I'm so fucking silly. But I was mad at Dan Calloway for a while. And a few other niggas, because I thought they were talking about what the hell is his name? I'll look it up. I thought they were talking about Carmichael. But what is his name though? Kwame Ture. You know what I'm saying? I thought they were talking about him. Stokely Carmichael. I kept confusing Stokely for Steve. for Steve Coakley. I kept confusing them two. I kept doing it over and over because I knew who Steve Coakley was, but for some weird reason, once I got deep into this Boulay train, I started confusing the two. I started calling Stokely Carmichael Steve Coakley, but I completely was wrong, and I didn't mean to do that, and I apologize for that because there's a difference, a big difference between both of them. Steve Coakley is more or less like me and like a lot of you, where he sees, and actually he's one of the first ones to bring it up, to bring it to the table, talking about the Boulay and the Signifies and all these motherfuckers and all the dirt that they do. He was the one that really told us back in the day. Nobody was listening to him because of people like Stokely Carmichael, Kwame, aka Kwame Ture, and this Black Power thing. Always remember, I can literally show you a stat from the 60s to today to 250 or 2050. They're estimating in 2050, Black people will still only be 13% here. That, to me, is mad. And for many different reasons. Because for one, I don't even think there's that many white people here. I think that's a lie because you can tell in these little hick towns, there's not that many people there. How are there more white people in this country than anybody else? And when you go to these little towns, they be like population 300, 200. They're not that deep. So if we don't see a bunch of white people in the cities, we know that's true because we always say they move to the suburbs and the outskirts. Okay. And then in these rural areas where there's countryside, we don't see that many of them neither. How are they the most deep? In the sports, they're not that deep. The majority of the sports, we're not talking about golf and skiing and shit. No, I'm talking about the majority, the most paying sports. Football, basketball, baseball they're in. But the Latinos taking over that. So, okay, whatever. Baseball, I'll give them that. The jail population, white people aren't that deep. So where the fuck are they? But that's whatever. That's a whole nother conversation. This one is about how Black Power and all of this fake Messiah talk, because that's basically what these people are. These are fake messiahs. These aren't the real messiahs. And I mean the real Messiah. And I know people don't believe in stuff like that. And it's like, no, bro, it really has nothing to do with belief. It has to do with who has said what way before others have, or who kept people on this target. Kept you letting, they're all dirty. If they talk about, they all filthy. Me and a few others. But on my old page, and that page, you guys got to remember, that page was like 13 years old. So they had been on there for a long time. So it's like if I still had that page, you'd have seen the full development growth. You'd have seen everything, all the shout outs to Sarnetta, all the times dissing Sarnetta. And the add up is mainly polite. All the faulty stuff that really realms around Sarnetta is going to veer towards the polite situation. You can talk about Nikki. You can talk about Solar Mind because everybody said it. Sarnetta is trying to play it off like it's everybody else's fault, but he introduced both of these niggas to us. Solar Mind was introduced because everybody even said it. Even George Megan said it. He's like, nigga, Sarnetta, how did I meet Solar Mind? Do you remember? He's like, nah. He's like, through you. That's how we met him. So how you gonna blame people for niggas you bring? You're bringing these dudes around. Okay, then you got polite. Everybody talking about Dr. York. and all this, yada yada. All you want to be Dr. York, but where y'all keep messing up at is one of Sa-Neter's main, dudes. Unc was a Nuwabian. I had forgot all about that. I had forgot all about that when he was Black Atheist. He was still spitting some of that stuff. And then once Cyrus Sudan said he came around and a few others, and they started talking that heavy Black Power African talk. He started talking about sacrificing chickens and shit. And then everybody brought up the Nikki Love affair. And it's like, yo, all this is around Sa-Neter. All these people are brought to us by Sa-Neter. It don't matter if he's, claiming, because I could see why you think Sa-Neter had the Atlanta connection. Motherfucking Unc from Detroit or Baltimore. Sa-Neter's from New York. How the fuck did they get all the way to Georgia, where the whole Z York thing was going down? There was another nigga he used to mess with, King Noble. He got some weird shit on him, you know what I'm saying? But he used to be talking to Sa-Neter, you know what I'm saying? Sa-Neter didn't really rock with him all the way, but here's the funny thing. You didn't rock with him all the way, but you rock with Polite, but Polite ends up doing the dirt. And here's another weird thing about Polite. Polite's not a American Negro. Polite's not no American Negro. That nigga's a straight African. Like, he knows he's from African. He knows his tribe. He knows all that shit. So, okay. Stokely Carmichael. He comes through, and he's from Trinidad. And he's talking about some Black Power and some African stuff. But he ended up doing his people super faulty, they said. And then I also think he's the one who came up with that goofy ass Kwanzaa shit. But they said there was the feds around them. They was working with the police. So you got Kwame Ture having feds around, because people have already admitted it. That the nigga who invented Kwanzaa was dealing with the feds. Okay. Then you got the Black Panthers. They say they were infiltrated by the FBI, but here's the funny thing. All their guns came from a FBI agent. You know what I'm saying? Or an informant, however you want to slice it. But it's like, why are the feds around it soon as it starts? The people you were buying guns from was the police. So it's a catch-22, and it's ironic that right after the whole Black Power thing disbars, here comes gangs. And people have already said that. They're like, oh, well, they broke off from the Black Panthers. No, they broke off from the FBI. And that's why ain't nothing good came from them. Just like nothing good came from the Black Panthers. Crediting WIC is not something noble to say. You know what I'm saying? Some free milk, eggs, and cheese. Like, come on, bro, shut up. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is stupid. Oh, people need that. Why? It's 2023, bro. How broke are you? Like, where do you live? What are you doing? What are you trying to do? Do you strive? Do you get off your ass and do something? Okay, so we're not going to play the pity pat party. What I'm trying to figure out is, if I told you this years ago, if other people told you years ago, what does that say about Sa-Neter? Because we like him for, the outlet, the conversation, I guess. But if he's keeping people lost in a truth that, in a lie that's not true. You know what I'm saying? Slavery has been debunked so many times, ridiculous. Like, from millions of people to 300,000. From they're African to Negroes for sale. But you also got to remember what territory you're in. When you're getting Negroes for sale, there is no staying over there. It's all colonies. So how do they even have that word? And why would they describe them as that, knowing they just came from Africa? That don't make no sense. So it kind of all started to go downhill once the Indian talk did come around. It really did. I'm not gonna play, polite from jail. Talking about helping people with their credit. I don't even know what the fuck that means. Like, to me, that didn't even make any sense. Why you even say some dumb shit like that? You're helping people with their credit while you locked up on a case involving an underage. And since it's not on your record that, you're a child molester, you figure you're fine. I don't believe that. I don't believe polites in general pop. I don't believe that. You ain't super famous, but you was on the Breakfast Club, and bad news travels fast. I don't believe he's in general pop. I believe he's in PC. And he can say he's not. He can front, but I don't know, son. I don't know, son. I don't think he in general pop B. What I do know is Sa Neter, to me, is he's not a gatekeeper. He's like the Saint Peter of the gate and shit. Let's say it like that. I'm not calling him a saint. I'm saying he's not the gatekeeper, but he's right there at that fucking gate, and he's seen it. That's what I'm saying. He's seen who's went in this motherfucker and who's came out this motherfucker. That's how I look at Sa Neter. I don't call him unless he's playing dumb. If he playing dumb, then because there is something weird about him and the pod just so happening to link up and date. That's weird. I know people like, well, why is that weird? Well, there's many reasons it's weird. For one, he bashed the Bible. She believed in the Bible. That's weird. But then two, they both Dominicans. Both of them out here claiming black power, but they really aren't black people.
She's been passed around the whole team. Oh, like, we can't wait.
I told you. What did I tell you? Didn't I tell you? Because I told you.
In the pod, I heard through the grapevine, she has been passed around the whole Hebrew camp. A couple of them. Not saying all of them, but a couple of them. But I told you, motherfucker. It's not funny, but it's funny because it's like, damn. When I was dogging out Sa Neter talking about you still kicking it with Polite, you still bringing Polite on, and nobody was listening to me. And his son actually gets booked. Better yet, fuck that. He pleaded out. You know what I'm saying? And he ran with it like if it was a drug charge or something. Like, oh yeah, I got a minor drunk, got a minor high, and it's like, son, what does that have to do with the other details of the story? And then why did mom say she thought you was just going downstairs? It's like, nigga, you ended up in a hotel. The shorty ends up passed out in a hotel. Where's the party at? I thought it was supposed to be a party. How y'all get to a room? See, the whole shit is fugazi. It don't make any sense. Then copping out to a plea deal on a bunch of other charges is like, yeah, if you got some weed on you and it's a strong arm robbery and you got the gun, but you physically punched the dude, you know what I'm saying? It's like maybe you could get the weed charge dropped and the assault charge dropped because they got the gun and they got the strong arm robbery. You got the money in your hand and you strong arm robbery. So it's like the assault is just a punch. But once you got a gun, you know what I'm saying? Okay, that's what they want. They're going to want the gun. So if you plea out to the gun and they drop the other charges, yeah, all right, you lucked up. Because at the same time, if you went to the box with the shit and lost, you know what I mean? You get hit with all of them. So that's the game of the court system and life. All right. Well, Polite, all his charges is lascivious and rape and I guess bodily harm to a minor because you know the drugs inside of the body and alcohol. So it's like, okay, so you get the rape knocked off, you get the city is knocked off, and you just have getting a minor drunk and high. How the fuck would that carry 7 years and 10 years probation? If there's no sexual assault, and the kids get the fuck out of here. Ain't nobody giving you 7 years for getting your nephew a fucking beer on New Year's Eve. Like, you're lying. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. Motherfuckers get a fucking 16-year-old guns and shit. Be letting them go out hunting and shit in the back. It's like, bruh, I'm not buying that. I'm not buying that beat. Florida or not, because I know it's different laws stuff, but it's like, nah, I'm not buying that. And they say Florida got strict laws on shit like that. So I mean, how you look at it? Look at it because they dropped the rate. See, I don't look at Polite like. Remember, he claims he paid $200,000, and I know you ripped off at least $100,000 off crypto. So it's like, I could believe he had it. I could. MasterCard artist, 20,000. I can believe that. Yo, tell that nigga off him $1 million or $500,000, whatever he said. Tell that nigga Caesar off $1 million. Take the stand. Take back whatever he said. Don't think. Do it. That's Polite all day. Yo. I paid $200,000. And it's like, maybe that's why we ain't heard from Linda. Maybe that's why Linda ain't talking. Maybe she took some hush money. I don't know. I ain't saying she did, but I don't know. Maybe he did finesse the system in that sense. Bottom line is, it wouldn't surprise me. So many people said he got ripped off from him before. So it's like, well, okay. This sounds about right. This sounds about correct.
I told you. What did I tell you? Didn't I tell you? Because I told you.
It just, yo, man, fuck it. Call it what it is, man. He came from a sick camp. You know what I'm saying? But he's not the only one. Rashid Jamal, like, I called this shit. Like, this shit is insulting. I called this shit. I even threw Pharaoh weird dope fiend ass in. It's like, I called this shit. I called all of them. Rashid Jamal, Brother Blight, or Polite, better yet. Poor Light. Who's the other one? Malachi Z. York. I called this shit. You know what I'm saying? If y'all following a nigga's trends and his movement and his style, how would that not come up in the end? to me, you know, nobody should be doing the youngsters wrong, period. You know what I'm saying? If they not of age, then you stir them the right way. You don't come at them with no sexual, you know what I'm saying, deviance. Nah. Bro, they got a whole lifetime for that. I'll just be honest. Attraction is attraction. It is what it is. But legal age and knowledge of this, having morals, having a moral compass, being like, look, it doesn't matter what I can do. It's what I should do. You know what I'm saying? That's the whole point of it, of integrity. You know what I'm saying? Doing what's right, even when no one's looking. And that's what Polite don't have. Polite don't have no integrity. You know what I'm saying? You knew that girl was underage. Yeah, maybe she's a hot little skipper, but it's not for you. It's not for you, kid. It's not. It's not for you. It's not for you, man. You with her mama. Jesus. Like, dog, that's super duper predator shit. Ain't nobody can front. Hell yeah, he did that shit. Hell yeah, nigga, guilty the motherfucker. I don't give a fuck what charges you got off you. Nigga, you lying. You lying. You did something. I know you did something because that's her daughter, son. You ain't supposed to be around her like that, son. You with her mom's, B. At a hotel, she passed out drunk, trying to wake her up, shit. High on some type of drug. Semen on the shirt. Now the semen gone. How the fuck is semen there? Now it's gone. It was on the news. You on the big screen. You on the big time, man. How you gonna fake that out? Like, how do you lie about that? It's bugged out, man. All I'm saying is we was talking about this shit for years. Yo, the old baby was talking about this shit for years. So I'm just like,
I told you. What did I tell you? Didn't I tell you? Because I told you.
It's just fucked up. It's like, damn, son. Like, yo, the Light Show, Ben called that shit years ago. He called that shit years ago, man. It's like, yo, the motherfuckers faking jacks. It's like even Elijah Muhammad had a bunch of underages pregnant. Pregnant with kids and shit. And he wasn't taking care of them. It's like, bruh. And your boy, Mr. Ketchup Stains, bear witness that himself. Now, people be like, well, why the fuck would they let? Because it's all a setup. But why would he go out that way? Why would they play him off with the Ketchup Stains and all that shit? I'll be honest. Maybe, they was fucking with him. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they was. Maybe they was feeling what Malcolm was talking about. And I can believe it. Because maybe they was feeling what some of that stuff Elijah Muhammad was talking about. Bruh, I can believe it. If I'm telling you it's a knowledge ball, it's a joust of life. These motherfuckers is, you know what I'm saying? Because remember, we're the slaves. All the people that's not on the top echelon, we the slaves. So they just playing chess with us. You know what I'm saying? Let's see what I can make. Oh, I can make the whole thing. No, you can't. Bruh, you don't believe that? Y'all just pit it on white people like it's just a great fucking inner sanctum. It's nothing but the holy white people. Get the fuck out of here, bro. You seen the Simpsons shit? It was all types of people there. Arabs, baby, everybody was there. Fucking everybody was there. So I'm saying that to say this. It's like you gotta realize something. You gotta realize that the whole point of racism and trying to get back to a fairy tale fucking African story, all that shit is like PSYOP approved. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, this shit is Mattel to them. Playmates. Fucking, I don't know, whatever fucking company you guys, the Fisher Price to them. This is nothing. Little tykes in this motherfucker. That's how they looking at us because everybody mad at Polite. Everybody mad at Sinetta, but people ain't realizing, bro, they been knocked in this doorway with this shit. Anytime a motherfucker is on some spooky shit with you, you know what I'm saying? In the light and the intergalactical forces of, I'm talking about that. If they ain't breaking it down, slow poke Rodriguez with you, Hey, Speedy. If they ain't chilling with you, you know what I'm saying? Give you the business to where it's like, oh, okay, even the streets understand it, because that's where these kids is getting hit up the most. Polite wasn't messing with no famous woman. This was a regular woman, okay, with a regular child. That's how it happens. What y'all doing with the information, man? What y'all going to do with the information, man? You just gonna let it wither away? Because what y'all don't know is the next video is even worse. It's not even about that. It's gonna be about the zombieism. It's gonna be about a comparison of a group of people or 4 individuals, and we're gonna check out the lifestyles and how the energy was saying one thing, but it was doing another. Well, check this out. That's both ways with all 4 of these motherfuckers. Shit is deep. It's deep situation. I'm about to like Pandora's box to people. Motherfuckers gonna be tripping. But I say that to say this. As far as polite, man, Sinetta is he gonna claim to be, just a I'm just a news reporter. I don't know. The shit's getting sticky, man. Goes.